If you want to change your health in 6 months, don't start off with 30-day challenge or a new supplement stack. I used to think that I was in pretty good shape. I didn't get sick. I went on walks. I didn't eat fast food every day. But when I got my blood work back, I realized that even though I felt fine, it doesn't mean that I was actually okay. That moment made me do a full audit of my entire health. What I was doing right, what I was ignoring, and what I could be doing better. And let me tell you, you can change a lot in 6 months. No detoxes, no 75 hard, and no shaming yourself in order to make sure that you go to the gym at 5 a.m. or some ungodly time. It only took a couple of systems to make sure that I was doing the right thing day after day. And let me take you through exactly what I did so that you can do the same in the next few months. Let's start with food because it's the one thing that you're doing every day, whether you're trying to be healthy or not. When I started, I didn't count macros, I didn't fast, and I didn't cut out bread. What I did was remarkably simple. All I did was track what I was eating using the Lose It app and use a $10 Amazon food scale in order to figure out what I was putting into my body. I didn't have any rules around this. I just wanted to make sure that I was aware of what was going in my body. I learned really fast that what I was consuming wasn't giving me enough calories of the healthy food, and when I was snacking, I was getting way too much calories and I was putting on weight because those snacks that I thought were not that much food added up to a lot more than I thought initially. Month 2, I layered on time restricted feeding. This was nothing extreme, but I gave myself an 8-hour window in the day and I said, hey, you can eat whatever you want, but it has to be between the hours of 12 and 8. And I found that it worked really well for me because it was just a simple system saying, hey, you can eat whatever you want. There's no rules. There's just one rule that you're only going to eat between these 2 times. In months 3 and 4, I started watching my portions more carefully. In order to add on to that time restricted feeding, I also focused on making sure that I was eating in moderation. What that meant was for dinner, I would only have 1 serving, not 2 servings. And those moderate changes helped me drop 10 pounds without even going to the gym. Eventually, in months 5 and 6, I realized that what worked for me was a high protein, lower carb diet because it kept me alert and full over the entire period of the day while also allowing me to lose a little bit more weight. So now a typical day of eating for me looks like this. First, for breakfast, I have a protein smoothie as well as 2 mozzarella string cheese snacks. For lunch, I usually have a protein base, whether that's chicken or fish, layered on with a salad consisting of peppers, mushrooms, walnuts, or avocados. For dinner, I keep it light. It's a mixture of eggs and cheese, and snacks, I eat yogurt, blueberries, nuts, or peanut butter. When I go out to eat with friends, I usually focus on a high protein dish and a salad. And when I go to Chipotle, in month 6, I know my order. It's double chicken, lettuce, beans, cheese, and sour cream, and I know the macros for all of them, so it becomes really easy and my go-to order when I'm going somewhere, so I don't need to have any willpower to make sure that I'm ordering the right thing and eating the right thing. The second part of this transformation is around movement, and you have to start slow and then build up. In month 1, I didn't go to the gym, but I just walked. That's it. Every day, I was going for 20-30 minutes and just walking in the gym. It really helped to build that muscle of going to the gym and making sure that I felt comfortable when I was exercising. My goal for those 30 days was focusing on 5,000 to 10,000 steps and giving me the structure and motivation to go back to the next day and keeping it easy, specifically for making sure that I wasn't getting injured and I wasn't overtraining in that very critical time of building up that muscle. That health is a priority in my life. In months 2 and 3, I added bodyweight workouts. These were really light as well. I only focused on 20 minutes at a time doing push-ups, squats, and pull-ups. From months 4 to 6, I focused on lifting weights and slowly ramping up the intensity of the workout until I got to my full weight training block of winter 2024. Nowadays, I want to have different seasons. I lift or run based on what season it is, whether it's a cardio or weightlifting season. You can do both at the same time, but that's just something that I figured out between months 4 and 6 works for me. I'd rather focus on one thing at one time rather than do two simultaneously. Maybe that'll change in the future. Sometimes I might do both, sometimes I do neither. Like, for example, for the past 3 weeks, I haven't gone to the gym. The motivation ebbs and flows. However, when you flip that switch on, that health is a priority, you want to get back into the gym. The difference is that I don't spiral when I completely abandon the gym. These 3 weeks have been very busy, but when I get back into the gym tomorrow, I'm going to be picking up right where I left off. There shouldn't be any guilt or punishing yourself for falling off. It should be very low lift and very easy to get into the gym, because once you're there, you can do the workout, whatever it is, however bad the workout is, and get on with your life. The mindset should be that you don't need to plan around the gym as your life, but the side effect is if you actually enjoy the work that you're doing at the gym, you will feel that you want to go rather than dreading it every day. The third and arguably most foundational piece of this health transformation is sleep and mindset. Most people skip this part, and I know I did too at the beginning, but if I had gone back, this is what I wish I did starting from month 1. It turns out that sleep is essentially a force multiplier for the prior 2 sections. When you sleep well, workouts become better, cravings reduced, willpower is increased. It generally just makes everything a little bit easier when you're doing the exercise and the nutrition portions of these health transformations. If you notice a trend in month 1, I usually start off with a very, very easy thing in order to scale up over the next few months. For month 1, what I wish I had done was just observe when I was going to sleep, when I was waking up. Is there anything that's changing between each week that's helping me or hurting me? In month 2, what I wish I did was moving the phone out of the bedroom. The one thing that the phone does is that it emits blue light, and this can reduce your melatonin, and it can also stimulate you psychologically, which prevents you from falling asleep and turning your brain off. This could have been a game changer when I was trying to optimize my sleep. From months 4 to 6, I really focused more on sleep, and I started a bedtime routine. I think having a bedtime routine is always really important before going to bed. And if you're doing, whether it's skincare, whether it's stretching, it's really important to get those habits early, because later on it's going to be harder to change when you want to change them. I think an ideal nighttime routine for months 4 to 6 would look like this. You would have no phone before bed. You would be reading before bed around 30 minutes. You would get your nighttime routine done, and you would make sure that you're treating the bedtime like a very important calendar appointment. Here's a rule that I live by. I got it from the 2-day rule that I believe Jerry Seinfeld popularized about you can miss 1 day, but don't miss 2 days. Essentially, he used to write jokes every day, and if he missed a day, he would absolutely not miss the day after he had missed. You can miss 1 workout, 1 healthy meal, or 1 night of sleep, but when you miss 2 or more, alarm bells should go off in your head and figure out what's not working and how you can tweak the system in order to get your health goals. Everything that I just described works because it is part of a system. Sunday is my prep day for the rest of the week, whether that's a grocery list, meal prep, or workout schedule. One thing that I think is really helpful is batching stuff. If you batch stuff, if you repeat meals, make sure that you're more efficient with your time, then you can focus on that time on other ventures. Here's how I broke it down over 6 months. In month 1, you track your food, you walk daily, and you observe your sleep. In month 2, you add time-restricted eating, trying short workouts, and setting a consistent bedtime. In month 3, you should adjust your macros, add resistance training, and make sure you have a nighttime routine. In months 4 through 6, you should refine and repeat it. You should keep it boring because that's what actually drives results. None of this is magic, and none of this is extreme, most importantly. But if you have the systems, then you will get the outcome. You will always have setbacks. That should be a given. But it will allow you to keep making progress even though you have those setbacks. Start by asking, what is one thing that you can do today that you can actually keep doing, because this is for the rest of your life. Some of the things that I would suggest doing is tracking your food or being aware of your food, going for a walk, or setting your phone down about 30 minutes before bedtime. That's the foundation, and if you stack these little wins on top of each other for 6 months, you'll be a completely brand new person by the end of it.